What is up, guys? It is Patrick back on a Veteran's View, and today I'm going to be going into part 2 of my 2020 is Gone But Not Forgotten series. So to kind of pick up where we left off, we had just came back from Great Wolf Lodge, had a great time on that trip, and I get notified that I'm being terminated by my employer. And kind of make a long story short, what pretty much happened was, so while I was working and you know, doing my daily tasks for work, just to kind of try and get out of the house and whatnot, I started doing Instacart and DoorDash. You know, the additional revenue was nice as well, but it was mainly so I could kind of get out of the house, get a little bit of time away from the kids, and make a little extra cash. So I you know, started doing that prior to our trip to Great Wolf Lodge. And what ended up happening is I had a particular delivery one day that went to my supervisor, of all people. And he himself, he wasn't upset with it, but when he went back to work, you know, it kind of told a couple people, it spread through the office, and they pretty much got me for, while I was supposed to be working, I was doing orders. Now, the way my work was being conducted, I had between my entire shift, so the start and stop of my shift, to get my work done. And there was no expectation like, hey, you know, after you complete this work for the day, there's a possibility that we could email you and say, hey, we need you to get this done for us and this done for us. That didn't exist. It was, hey, this is what you need to get done for today. Once you're done, you're done. So I took that quite literally. I said, okay, I got my stuff done. After I was done with it, I was still on the clock for my employer technically, but I was done with my work for the day. So I went and did some orders. And I think because of the pandemic and everybody freaking out and people somehow worried that I was taking advantage of the system, you know, they made it a big issue. So that resulted, after, you know, a month and a half investigation, in me getting terminated. So from that, you know, we had a good amount in savings. Still at this point, even after the Great Wolf Lodge trip, we had, you know, roughly about 12 to 13,000 in savings. And I really just kind of started to kind of, you know, stop and try and look at, you know, how I was feeling and what was going on mentally and how the kids were feeling, and really tried to kind of focus on kind of trying to better myself and kind of really start to ask those difficult questions and to actually communicate. And, you know, I feel like, unfortunately for men in society, it's still, I know it's getting better, but it's still almost frowned upon for men to show weakness. And being I was in the military, then a correctional officer after that, you know, always been the breadwinner of the family. Not that I necessarily had an ego, but I kind of had this feeling that, you know, I can get through anything, I can deal with anything. Like, you know, I did a tour in Afghanistan. I had this feeling that, you know, not that I was invincible, but that I could deal with everything on my own. And that definitely turned out to be false. And I started to realize that, you know, as I communicated more, really tried to focus on, hey, you know what? This pandemic's not just affecting me, it's affecting the kids too. You know, it's really taking a toll on them. So for them to have more outbursts, for them to, you know, have more tantrums, and for them to be on edge as well, that's normal. And it took me longer than I wish it would have to realize that, and for my wife to realize that as well. So then we really just kind of tried to focus on that and really start to look at, okay, this year's thrown a lot of curveballs at us, just like it has everybody. What good can we take out of this? And, we really started to kind of think about, the time we spend with our kids. Me not going to work, I was able to spend more time with them and turn that into quality time that I was enjoying, and did more projects, and all those kind of things that when we're kind of on the go, in our normal lives without the pandemic, a lot of that stuff we don't really kind of take a step back and kind of realize that a lot of us don't really spend much time with our kids. And my daughter's the oldest one, she turns 10 in 18 days. My middle one is 8 and my youngest is 6. As they get older, naturally what tends to happen is they are going to want to spend less and less time with us as their parents. That just kind of seems to be how things go. And it started to, okay, we're spending more time together, doing more things, talking about our issues. I started to not have as much depression at that point. I noticed I was definitely able to handle my anger a little bit better. I wasn't flipping out on the kids like I was before. And, things started to get better from that point. So even though I'd lost my job and I was on unemployment, I started to notice a drastic change for the better after that point. And I started to view things through a little bit of a different lens, instead of, look at all this negative this year's caused. Really focus on the positive. I know I keep hitting that, but I think for a lot of us, we need that positivity in our life. And I think for myself, I didn't realize just how much I needed to be focusing on that. And I'm a very positive person by nature anyways. So I could only imagine for somebody who maybe struggles to be positive or whatnot, how difficult that could be. So I was on unemployment, and my wife and I, we got in an Etsy shop. We've always done different vinyl products, wooden signs, clothing, shirts, stuff like that. And we did that for a little while, and that was going well. And I just kind of really started to think about my perspective through this process. And this is kind of where this idea stemmed for this kind of video series, going through 2020, how we started, what happened along the way, the goods, the bads, the indifferent, and just kind of want to talk about that and try and see if, there's, we're not the only ones who experience this. So kind of fast forward to December, this past month, and, we still had a good amount in savings at this point. We were losing a little bit because unemployment was not paying anywhere near what my salary was, but we still wanted to do the Disney World trip. My kiddos had soccer tournaments canceled, throughout September, October, November, even at the beginning of December when we ended up taking our trip. They were supposed to have a soccer tournament down in Vegas that we were going to go to that got canceled. And we wanted to be able to finish 2020 in as positive of a manner as possible. So a good friend of ours, their oldest daughter is on my oldest daughter's soccer team. And we decided we were still doing Disney World, and they wanted to go with us. So we all went to Disney World. There was a total of 9 of us who went, and they were not able to stay as long as we did. They stayed about 4 days, 5 days. And we stayed for a total of 10 days. And really just tried to have as much fun as possible. You know, not go nuts buying, you know, every little souvenir and whatnot, but just really embrace like 2020 and you know, waiting in a lot of those long lines, which, you know, even in the midst of the pandemic, Disney World was still fairly busy, and, you know, gave us a lot of time to think and reflect and talk to our kids and you know, just kind of see how, you know, now when they look back on 2020, they're still going to have those, you know, those negatives and those downfalls and those frustrations, but they would also be able to say, but look at how we finished the year. We went to Disney World. We spent 10 days there. We had a blast. We hit every park that was open, every Disney park that was open. Some of the parks we did multiple days at that park. My oldest daughter got to meet one of her favorite YouTubers, the Tannerites. They just so happened to be there same day we were. She got to take her picture with them, and she was starstruck. And she said that made her year. Out of all the bad that happened, a 9-year-old girl meeting her, you know, YouTube celebrities that she watches, to her, that made her year. And it was just so awesome to see, and just to see her excitement. So, you know, coming back home from Disney World, obviously very difficult. The trip itself, quite expensive. Cost us, I want to say, about $6,500. Pretty close there. So that was 6 days at the park, the Airbnb that we stayed at, rental car, food, you know, everything, probably about $6,500, which pretty much cut our savings in half, you know, from what we had, which was about 12 to 13 after Great Wolf Lodge. And that kind of brings us to now, and kind of the whole reasoning behind this series is finishing up 2020 and looking at 2021, and what financial goals do we have, and what physical health goals do we want to hit, and what mental health goals do we want to hit, and how much time do we want to spend with our kids, how much, you know, just really kind of embrace 2021 and be able to go into 2021 with a much better mindset, some more mental clarity, and really focus on what's important. And that's kind of what I'm hoping this can provide for everybody. And, you know, that this kind of idea, you know, you guys will find interesting and want to be a part of. So what the plan is coupled with YouTube videos, we're also going to be doing daily TikToks and whatnot, and we're just going to be focusing on, you know, making those better choices. You know, instead of sleeping that couple extra hours, getting up and working out. Instead of eating that unhealthy meal or going and getting fast food, we're going to make a family meal. It's a little bit healthier. And just kind of do that stuff on a daily basis, you know, making sure we're hitting step goals, we're drinking enough water, a lot of things that seem very, very simple that a lot of us kind of overlook. And, you know, even though we're still in the midst of this pandemic, you know, just have a better mindset going into it, and not allowing us, at least us as a family, and hopefully you guys as a community, you know, to fall victim to, you know, oh, well, you know, last year was so terrible that, you know, this year is going to start off terribly. You know, a lot of that is going to be in your mindset and how you view, what lens you view 2021 through. Not only that, but we've also got the Senate runoff elections taking place in Georgia coming up in a couple days. It's looking like potentially a new president, and what that could mean in terms of relief efforts for everybody who's hurting and in need. And there's a lot of positive things we can look forward to. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to be completely transparent through this process. On TikTok, I'm pretty much going to be posting videos every single day, just kind of showing our little process, sped up here and there. But then also I'm going to be, putting those together on YouTube probably every other day. Just little videos, positive videos, projects we're doing with the kids, things we're doing with the kids, working out, and just, making it so that, you guys can hold us accountable. But then also, if we can get some engagement from you guys, let us know what you're doing. What changes are you going to try and work on in 2021? What type of mindset are you going to have? So, hopefully we can get that engagement. And we kind of plan on continuing this. So it'd be awesome if you guys would, stick with us for the ride. There's going to be, a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. We're still fairly new to this. But we're also going to work to ensure that our quality is where it should be. I'll be posting our TikTok info down below as well. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, especially as we're still slowly trying to grow. Any and all engagement in any shape, subscribing, likes, comments, shares, all of that will help grow this channel, will grow the community, and will allow us to put out better content for you guys. And with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Happy 2021.